Hey, what is going on, guys? DK. Back at you with another video here to bring the Thursday Night Football Showdown slate between the Packers and the Cardinals. And this is going to be one of the best showdown slates in my opinion. I am so excited for this matchup. We're finally getting a good game for Thursday Night Football. Two of the better teams right now in the NFL going up against each other. One lost Packer team against undefeated Cardinals. So even though there's some potential guys missing games or some guys that might miss the game, I still think it's going to be super, super exciting and a fun game to watch. But yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. If you're interested in NBA daily fantasy sports, I have a video breaking down the week 5 5-game NBA slate tonight. So make sure to check that one out. Also, just did a live stream that you can go back and watch general Q&A fashion. If you guys are unable to watch these videos, I also upload on Apple Podcasts. Link down below. It's called the DKDFS Show. And if you're interested in signing up for premium content, I offer a few different packages on patreon.com. NFL package, we cover the main slate and the showdown slate. NBA package, same thing. And then esports package, that includes Call of Duty and CSGO. And I want to thank the sponsor, Prize Picks. So for Prize Picks, I was looking at the board for Thursday's game. Right now we have 8 players posted. So if you guys are not familiar, you can, 2 different ways you can play. The first way is taking over/under on straight up fantasy points. So like Kyla Murray, 23 fantasy points. You either like the under or the over, or you can go over to single stat if you'd rather take the over/under in like passing yards, rushing yards, receptions, receiving yards. You can mix and match sports too, so you can go to like NBA. You can play a couple from NBA, mix in with a couple from NFL. So yeah, if you guys want to try it out and sign up, use my code DKDFS. That is DKDFS, all one word. I'll have a link in the description below. You get a 100% match up to $100. All right, so before we get into the video, I want to thank you guys again for your continued support on the NFL videos, NBA videos, the live streams. If you do enjoy all this content, make sure to hit the like button. Try to aim for 100 on this one. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comments section down below who is going to win you the $1 million on Thursday. Okay, so before we get into players and the prices, let's take a look at my lineup here from Monday night's showdown. So it's Monday night, even though it was a completely ugly game. I only played the Millionaire Maker, but I cashed. So I went Alvin Kamara in the captain. I knew he was going to be popular, but I was just like, in a game that was going to be so ugly, Kamara basically playing the entire game. It was hard for me not to go there for my one lineup. I used both quarterbacks. Traquan Smith, I swear he had like 10 targets. Like, stop getting in fights, Traquan. Like, stop fighting with Jameis Winston and just catch the ball. Oh, that was so frustrating. Rashad Penny, only 0.9 fantasy points. And then Freddie Swain is pretty key, almost 9 fantasy points at only 14% ownership. Going with the winning lineup this is in the luxury box and a $2,000 entry. It was Kamara in the captain with Jameis, DK Metcalf with a long touchdown. Basically his only catch of the game and one other catch. They had Traquan Smith with Freddie Swain and Troutman. So again, it was just one of those slates, super, super ugly. I don't like slates like that where it's like low scoring, not a lot of offense. I prefer the showdown slates like this where it's projected to be a shootout. Again, this one is a 51 over/under with the Cardinals 6.5-point favorites. So let's start off with Green Bay, and let's first take a look at some snap counts. Now, a couple of pieces of news to go over. Davante Adams on the COVID list, and same with Allen Lazard. Now, Lazard is confirmed out because he's unvaccinated, so he doesn't have enough time to play on Thursday. I think Davante has a small chance of playing, but like he needs 2 negative tests before Thursday, which I said is unlikely. And then you also have to monitor MVS, who might be coming back from IR. So Green Bay they could be without their top 3 wide receivers for this game. So running back, no surprise here. About a 4-to-1 split here with Aaron Jones playing 75% snaps, A.J. Dillon about 25%. A wide receiver, it was Adams and Lazard who both played a majority of the game. Again, both probably out. Lazard for sure out. Davante Adams most likely out in this game. So you have Randall Cobb and St. Brown. Cobb played 62%, St. Brown played 21%. Amari Rodgers played 7%. But then you do have possibly MVS coming back in. So how I think this works out is if both Lazard and Adams are out and MVS is back in, I would say MVS is probably their go-to wide receiver, followed by Cobb, followed by St. Brown, with Amari Rodgers getting mixed in a little bit. And then tight end, Tunyon played about 70% of the snaps, and we know he is their best pass-catching tight end. Mercedes Lewis, it's still insane to me he's still in this league, but he's actually got a couple of catches last few games. He played about 40% of the snaps. Okay, so at the top, we have Aaron Rodgers at why do they do this? Like, you have their flex salary, and you click on the name, and it brings up the captain salary. But yeah, he is 11.4K. This is a high total game. I know Arizona's defense has been pretty solid, but like that's not going to get me off Aaron Rodgers. I like him a good amount here. I think he's one of the safest plays on the board. Again, Devontae, obviously if he plays, has a ton of upside. Would really like him because target share is condensed when the Green Bay is throwing. A lot of the time it's going to Devontae Adams. Now just keep an eye on the news, right? I think there's a decent chance he does not play. Aaron Jones at only 9K is involved in the passing game. Only had 6 carries last game. I think that's definitely more of an outlier. I think normally what we expect from Aaron Jones is probably around 20 touches overall. So, Devontae Adams is out. Maybe they rely on the ground game a little bit more. So I think Aaron Jones, another relatively safe option there. Let's see again. Lazard for sure out. I mentioned Tonyan, 4.6K. This seems like a pretty fair price. We know we're getting out of Robert Tonyan. He's going to play probably 3/4 of the game. He's probably going to get targeted, around 5 times on average. Does have, the ability to catch some touchdowns, a red zone target. So I think in a high total game, price sub 5K, I think he's a pretty safe play. And then Crosby, as I always say with the kickers, they're viable. More cash game plays. You can look to them in tournaments. So yeah, now we get to some interesting plays here. So MVS has a chance to return. Monitor this one. It's a hamstring issue. If he does return and there's no Adams and Lazard, then he probably turns into the number 1 wide receiver. And he is their deep threat. He's got that big play upside. So would like MVS a good amount there if he's available to play. Randall Cobb would play a lot out of the slot, I think, either way. The upside isn't as high in Randall Cobb, but maybe the floor is a little bit higher. So I like both those cheap Green Bay wide receivers. Not super interested in the defenses in a high total game. You probably need a defensive touchdown, which I'm not going to try to bank on. A.J. Dillon is a viable contrarian value play. He'll probably get somewhere around, on average, 5 to 8 touches. He is a little bit involved in the passing game too, and he's cheap. So if you're going stars and scrubs, I think he is viable. I mentioned Mercedes Lewis, 2 and 3 targets last 4 games, so he's getting targeted a decent amount. I don't know if that continues, but hey, as a large field tournament play, sure, he's not out of the question. And then St. Brown. So if there is no, let's just say the top 3 wide receivers are all out for Green Bay, then it's going to be a core of probably St. Brown, Cobb, and Amari Rodgers. So Amari Rodgers, St. Brown, definitely viable, kind of depending on what happens with the receivers above them, right? If Devontae Adams and MVS are both in, then I don't know of much interest. If they're both out, then again, the receiving core is just going to be Cobb, St. Brown, and Amari Rodgers, who, Brown and Rodgers then become really good values at their respective price points. Okay, so that's really it for Green Bay. Let's move on to Arizona. And let's talk about some snap counts here for Arizona. So Chase Edmonds was the first time he wasn't on the injury report in a couple weeks, and he actually played 70% of the snaps. That's good to see. He is their better pass-catching running back. James Conner played 30% of the snaps. At wide receiver, we do have DeAndre Hopkins questionable. He played 83% of the snaps. Adrian Green, 85%. Kirk, 72%. Rondelle Moore, 52%. And then Wesley played about 17% of the snaps. And at tight end, Ertz played about half the game. He is their best pass-catching tight end. I think he's an interesting play on this one. Okay, so as I mentioned, DeAndre Hopkins is pretty big news, right? Because he is their clear go-to wide receiver, a red zone threat. And now he's missed back-to-back practices with a hamstring injury. Hamstring's not great, right? That's one where that worries me. Usually it forces guys to miss a game or two. So if DeAndre Hopkins plays, I like him a lot at the top. I think he has insane upside in a high total game like this. If he misses, then that's really going to boost those other 3 wide receivers a good amount. So again, that's another piece of news we got to wait on for sure. But we'll start with Kyla Murray at the top. I think is super, super safe. Maybe a little bit of a higher floor than Aaron Rodgers, because he's a guy that can go get you some rushing yards. So I really like Kyler, to no one's surprise in this channel. I've been all in on Kyler since he came into the league. I think he is a great play, super safe play. Definitely can use him in the captain spot as well. We went over Hopkins, but if he does play, I think he's a great GPP play guy that has a good amount of upside. Now, the running backs in Conner and Edmonds are priced up a little bit. Conner at 7.8, I don't have as much interest in because he's firmly just more out there for running the ball. He's not going to be used in the receiving down role much. Now, knowing my luck and the amount of times I've used a Kyler stack, every single time there's pass interference in the goal line, or in the end zone, and you just pound it in. You had a week where he had 4 straight weeks with a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. Every single touchdown was a 1-yard carry because there was constant pass interference in the end zone. So, knowing my luck in the Showdown site, you're gonna have 3 pass interferences in the end zone. James Conner is gonna finish with 12 carries for 26 yards and 3 touchdowns and break the slate. But yeah, I don't love the play at that price point. I do prefer Edmonds, who has yet to score a touchdown, but is getting consistent fantasy points. So if you do get a Chase Edmonds touchdown, he can go for like 20-plus fantasy points. Again, is way more involved in the pass game. So I prefer Edmonds to Connor. Christian Kirk at 7.2K. Been a little bit up and down, but if there's no DeAndre Hopkins, again, him, AJ Green, and Rondelle Moore all look really, really good. Again, AJ Green has kind of had a resurgence here. He is relatively cheap. He is only 6.8K. Getting a decent amount of targets too. If Hopkins is in, then all these guys definitely take a hit. If Hopkins is out, then like Green, Kirk, and Moore, who we'll get to, I think all look pretty solid. Zach Ertz at 6.2K. I don't love the price point, but like probably plays about half the game. Did have a touchdown last game. Again, this is a high total game, so definitely viable. And then rookie Rondelle Moore is only 4.8K. He's a guy that's more boom or bust. The upside is pretty high with him, but the floor is a little bit lower. He's not going to play as many snaps. Again, though, if there's no Hopkins, he probably plays a little bit more. So where you have Kirk and Green, probably a little bit of a higher floor. Rondelle Moore, more of that boom or bust play. Again, kickers, they always say they're fine options. Matt Prater's a good kicker in this league. I'm not really considering the defenses. And then value for this one. So I'll mention Wesley. So he was the number 5 wide receiver last game. He played 17% of the snaps. If there's no DeAndre Hopkins, I think he could push for maybe 30, 40, 50% of the snaps. So like maybe they use Zach Ertz more, or maybe Wesley gets some snaps. So at the flat min price, he would be an interesting dart throw if, in fact, DeAndre Hopkins is out. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for the video. So as I said, I am super, super excited for this game. Hoping it's a shootout. I think it's a fun one for DFS for sure. And again, $1 million up top. But if you guys have been enjoying the content, again, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks again. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you all in the next one.